Hi everyone, this is Niki Rowland for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and today I'm making a layout using two different sequin mixes that are new to the store. One is called Summer Morn and the other one is called Royal Highness, and they're both really beautiful, and I'm basically using the Summer Morn set to match my layout. So I decided to go mixed media here, and I've matched the colours from the Summer Morn sequin mix to colours of Shimmerz. So I'm not mixing it to matching it to a collection, a paper collection. I am matching it to mixed media, so my Shimmerz Paints. I will list the colours below that I have used, yeah, you can see there that I've got some yellows going on and peach, and then I've got a minty colour and a lime green and a purple down there as well. That's Wisteria Lane, that purple one, and that's a Shimmerz, whereas all the others are Inklingz or Creameez. I've let them sit in some water for a few minutes already, so they are good to use straight away. So you can see that I'm just using the packaging technique to pick up some paint and put it onto my layout that way. Let me just apologise for my voice. I have a cold and I can't speak that well, so I sound a bit strange, but there you go. So yeah, I'm just applying the mixed media there. You can see that I've managed to make a smudge under the purple, unfortunately, which is slightly annoying, but I'll get that covered up, no problem. And now that the original colours that I've put down are kind of drying, you know, the first ones I put down are drying now, I'm able to then add my splatters. The reason I don't like to add them straight away is because if the paint is wet, and the splatters obviously are wet, they bleed into each other and you don't get the effect of the splatters. So I tend to wait even just a few minutes, and that gives me it's dry enough for me to then add the splatters and get the splatter effect. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding paint to the piece of packaging that I've got there, and I've added a spritz of water to make it slightly more runny, and then I pick it up with a paintbrush and I splatter that way. So I've done that with all of the colours that I've used there, so that's 6 different Shimmerz colours onto a piece of marshmallow cardstock. So this is a little bit later and it's now dry, and now I'm going to work out what I'm going to do with the rest of the layout now that my background is dry. So my idea is really to separate out the sequins in the Summer Morn pack and put them, scatter them tone on tone around the painted areas on the layout. So there was this really lovely mauve or purpley colour, and I've pulled out those purpley ones to go down there, and then I've added all the kind of pinky peachy ones around the top left section of the layout, and then the minty green ones to the bottom right section. So that's kind of coming on. Now I had the green colour at the bottom, that's kind of a minty green, but it's more, that part there is kind of a lime green, but over to the right a bit further there is the real true mint colour, which is a bit too pale and doesn't actually go perfectly well with the sequins in the Summer Morn set. So I decided to pull out another couple of sequin mixes to see what else would go around that area. So I really love the Royal Highness sequins. They're all silver, so we have silver stars, silver glitters, and silver sequins too, so lots of and castles. I didn't need castles today, but all good things. And I also pulled out another set there which is called Carnival Queen, I think, and I just pulled a few sequins from there, just to make my greeny ones to have a couple of different types in, that's all. So it didn't add to the layout that much, but this is what I love about Spiegel Mom Scraps, is that I can pull out other sequin mixes and pull bits in where I need to. Okay, so I've picked out a couple of Vicky Boutin flower ephemera pieces there, and a couple of Project Life cards. So the Project Life cards mount my photo, and then the 2 flowers sit behind. I have the doily in place as well, as you can see. I have distressed the edges of the journaling cards behind the photo just to give a bit of extra separation, and I'm just getting those stuck down now. flowers I'm just getting stuck in place too. I didn't want the pink centres to show because the bright pink didn't work for the layout at all, but the soft colours of those two flowers worked really well for this layout. I'm sorry I keep jogging the camera every time I do something, so sorry about that. So now I'm just adding in some silver thread. I wanted to go silver instead of gold because I have used the silver sequins, so I'm using some silver thread, just tucking in some tangles behind my photo there. So I tend to stick it down with a little bit of tape if I can make it behave, which right now it's not happening. But yeah, so I tend to try to just get that in, and then I pull the ends out a little bit more to make it look a bit better. Okay, so that is my main layout stuck in place. I've obviously got a lot of sequins to stick down as well. I love that little word cute. It's a pink word I've had in my stash for a while. It's Perspective by Bramble Fox, and that's a really lovely pinky colour word. It's a girly set, I think, but this is a photo of my baby boy, but he is cute, so it works. And that's kind of a pinky peachy area at the top left there. You can see that I added the silver banner by Vicky Boutin. That's from the Vicky Boutin stickers, phrase, icon sheet thing, and then I've got a pink flower by Amy Tangerine as well, and I'm putting out some Highness swap stickers too, so a mixture of a few collections going on here. Right, so now I'm finding a few more perspectives by Bramble Fox. They're heart shapes this time from a set called Hearts Galore, I think, and I'm just right now peeling off the protective back and front, and now I'm pulling out a title by Shimmerz. So I really loved the silver in the sequins, the hearts and the banner that I'd pulled out already. So when I noticed the Shimmerz Sparkle City word stickers in my stash, I was like, oh, excellent, that goes really nicely. So I'll see if I can use a word from there, which I could, and it worked really well. So, and I curved it around the banner as well. In theory, I should have maybe sat it on top of the banner rather than underneath it, but I think it still works well enough. So yeah, just going through that massive Hide Swap sticker book there. It's huge, absolutely massive, and I'm just pulling out a few things to add interest to my layout, a few bits here and there. I'm just pulling out, I think I put out 2 hearts at the top, a little green sticker down for the green section, so I'm really aiming for tone on tone. As usual. I just had a sun, and that works really well with this layout, so I wanted to use that. And I've got a little banner there that says the gang, which again is ideal. So there was lots of things in this book that I could have used, but I wouldn't have been able to fit in because they were either too big, or basically I've already stuck half my layout in place, so the things that I do pull out of the sticker book need to be able to fit in. Okay, so I've nearly finished going through that massive sticker book and finding bits and pieces. Basically, I was trying to figure out a way of covering up the smudge, the purpley smudge at the bottom. It was just a little bit too far down to cover up with anything big. So I was trying to see what I could find in that sticker book to blend in with my sequin spray that's going to come off of my photo effectively. So I found that little purple round sticker, and that will do. That's just about, it doesn't cover it completely, but it makes it blend in a little bit better. So now I'm just going around and getting everything stuck in place. So you saw me stick in the butterflies there in the Summer Morn sequin set, and then I've just stuck down my Bramble Fox hearts, and now I'm literally going through with my glossy accents and my pokey tool, moving every sequin out of the way, and putting a small amount of adhesive underneath it, and then putting my sequin back in place. So I do this all the time for sequins. Yeah, so what I've just done there is that my where I've moved my sequins around to fit my layout, to get the photo and everything stuck in place, they'd all moved around. So where I originally scattered them, they'd all moved around and they didn't look right. So I attempted to rescatter by picking up all those peachy coloured ones, and then I wasn't happy with the way it looked. So I kind of rearranged them a bit, which is something I don't normally do. I normally like the random scatter, but on this occasion they were they're scattered in the wrong place, so I had to just move them around a little bit. Okay, so moving up to the top right corner, and I've got some iridescent sequins going on, as well as the beautiful, beautiful silver ones from the Royal Highness sequin kit. That one has loads of tiny stars in, and they were a bit tricky to stick down, but I persevered and I got them all stuck in place. So there's a few in different places to what they initially started out as, but and there was a few that didn't get stuck at all. They fell off the page once I picked it up, but on the whole they are all now stuck in place. Going in with a couple more butterflies, and I found a couple more sequins that I wanted to fill in some gaps with. So basically, yeah, I am pretty much there now. Nearly done, and I just thought I'd come in with these rustic hearts. So they're wood veneer hearts that are available in the Spiegel Mom Scraps store, and they're really lovely, but they're wood colour, which is fine, except that they didn't really go with my layout. I didn't want wood colour on my layout, even though I loved the little hearts. So what I thought I would do was paint them with Shimmerz Paints, so the same colours I've used for my mixed media background. So I'm literally just getting all of my hearts stuck in place. At the moment I'm just using glossy accents again as usual, while that's just drying for a sec, I'm just going in with the some of the silver circles from the Shimmerz Sparkle City Thickers sheet, and then I also found some Vicky Bouton stickers, and I found some little tiny Amy Tan enamel hearts. So they all worked really well with this layout, so I just basically filled in all the gaps. So now I'm coming in with my Shimmerz paints to paint my wood veneer hearts. They paint really, really well. The wood veneer surface is not a shiny surface, it's porous, and therefore it takes the paint beautifully. It really kind of sucks it in, and it paints really nicely. So no worries there about that. They paint beautifully. So I'm just leaving those to dry, and I'm going through and adding a few more splatters. Obviously with a mixed media background, I covered most of it up when I put everything on it. So I just wanted to go in with a few more splatters, so literally picking up every colour that I did for the background and adding in some more. Okay, so that is me done. Thank you so much for sticking with me today, even though my voice sounds dreadful. Don't forget that if you place an order via the Spiegel Mom Scraps store, enter code Niki15 for a 15% discount. Okay, that's me done. Thank you for joining me today. That was Niki Rowland for Spiegel Mom Scraps.